Acting Speaker.
Member for Albany.
My grievance today is to the Minister for Early Childhood Education, and I thank the Minister for taking my grievance. Quality early childhood education and care plays a critical role in supporting outcomes to early years development and school readiness. As a mother of 2 tweens now, daycare was vital for our working family, and I know it sometimes can be a barrier to families who want to work or study post-children. I was fortunate that my children had experiences in home daycare, daycare centres and after-school programs. It is so important that children are provided with opportunities to learn and to develop, to help children make friends, grow independence and learn new routines, which then support them to transition to school. We also know that the first 5 years of a child's life are critical for positive life outcomes. It is during this time that they build the foundations for lifelong learning, health and well-being. Nationally, attracting, development and retaining a high-quality workforce is a significant issue, and these challenges have been exacerbated by the impacts of COVID-19. In regional towns, we're impacted at an even greater level than metropolitan areas. It is also fair to say that regional and remote areas face additional unique challenges. The demand to early learning services, who are often the backbone of regional and remote communities, has been significantly impacted. In my electorate of Albany, in the Great Southern region of WA, we have just over 16 early learning and care services, including out-of-school care providers, family day centres and long day care centres. I'm excited that next month Village Childcare will open with 68 places in the Albany CBD. Village Childcare received a $140,000 regional economic grant towards their project. We turned the sod on the Baynard Head Early Learning Centre, which will add 72 new places due to open in early 2025. However, when I meet with local providers, they speak to me about the pressures of staying viable, particularly during the challenges in attracting and retaining staff. Service providers have told me that finding a quality workforce is challenging. Current staff workload's been impacted by workforce shortages, workers not being able to take time to access professional development. Providers have also issues in accessing affordable training to upskill their staff and challenges in accessing suitable accommodation. I also speak to parents who are wanting to return to work, however struggle to access continued, stable early learning and care arrangements. They have told me that this means they may not take the time off work and have been unable to pursue study or career opportunities. I welcome the federal government's recent announcement in the 2024-25 federal budget that they have provisioned funding towards a wage increase for early childhood education and care workforce. I know that the Cook government is committed to supporting and investing regional and remote towns, and therefore I ask, how is this government supporting regional early childhood education and care services in regional West Australia, and can the Minister update the House on recent initiatives to attract and retain early childhood educators, and what supports are being provided to regional service providers?
Thank you, Member. Minister for Early Childhood Education.
Acting Speaker, I thank the member for Albany for her grievance on a really, really important issue that's challenging for early childhood and care service providers right around the state. I've visited you in Albany, and I know you live in one of the most special places in Western Australia, which is growing so incredibly, and quality early childhood and education care services are such a critical, important part of a thriving community. And when I go right around the state, it's made abundantly clear to me that we need to, as a government, continue to support those services to make sure that they can thrive. I'm the first ever Minister for Early Childhood Education, which signifies the Cook's government's acknowledgement of the importance of quality early childhood education, and we continue to have it as a major focus to ensure that services right around the state can thrive and support the communities that they service. Importantly, I wanted to take this opportunity just to highlight some of the investments that the Cook Labor government has made more recently, particularly focused on supporting those incredible services that operate in our regions and in towns like Albany. You mentioned a member for Albany, and rightly, one of the critical issues is around workforce and retaining experienced, quality educators in those services. As part of an election commitment, we committed to $1 million, a fund to support and encourage local government authorities to come up with initiatives that would support attracting and retaining early childcare educators in their towns. So far, we've seen successful grants of 2 rounds of about $500,000 having been provided to a variety of local government authorities, which allows them to support educators with training and professional development, importantly relocation costs, and also campaigns to attract more people. Importantly, what's significant about these programs is that they're place-based and are encouraging local communities to come up with their own solutions. Last month, of course, I announced $2.9 million, which is being provided to three providers, One Tree Community Services, Child Australia and READ, better known as Regional Early Education Development, to allow them to support particular regional locations in developing the supports for the education service in those areas. Specifically in relation to Albany, Child Australia has been funded for the Empowering Regional Services WA Coordination Support Model program, and you'll be happy to know that as part of their program, they will be servicing and providing supports for services in the Great Southern, parts of Peel, Southwest and Wheatbelt regions. As well as that, READ has received support through that $2.9 million investment to deliver their successful READ cluster model to the Goldfields, Esperance, Great Southern and Southwest region. So through those models and that investment in those organisations, service providers of early childhood education services in Albany will particularly be able to be supported by those organisations to come up with place-based solutions. Things like face-to-face and online training, recruitment, resourcing, mentoring, development of their networks and planning. When I've gone around the state, it's obvious that in many towns, and you mentioned some of the member for Albany, many of those service providers are community-based, they're small, and they don't have the economies of scale to do some of those things around developing training and recruitment strategies and doing the compliance and other work, and that's why providing this investment to services like READ and One Tree and Child Australia allows them to directly support those small service providers so that they can get on with the job that they do best, and that is providing quality educational programs for young children. I also just want to very quickly also highlight an investment that the Cook Labor government's made over a significant period of time, and that of course is around training and fee-free TAFE training for a variety of sectors, and of course the childcare sector is a particular focus, and I just want to highlight the difference that it's making, and all the service providers that I talk to around the state really say the significant difference it's making in being able to attract and retain people coming into the sector. So a diploma of early childhood education, members, in 2021 would cost $10,000, now it's free. A Cert 3 in early childhood education used to cost $2,500, now it's free. And we know through the enrolments that those kinds of programs are making a difference, and we'll continue to keep supporting services in towns like Albany to ensure that they can attract and retain the staff they need. Can I just say, Member for Albany, I want to congratulate you in the way you advocate for your community, and in particularly the way that you have highlighted the importance of early childhood education services in your town. We know the benefits for children, but we know those services are the beating heart of a town, and we rely on them so that women can get back into the workforce and contribute to the local economy.
Thank you, Minister.